Well, hello there, and welcome back to another episode of Kid Talks Tanks. And I bet you're all wondering, when's he going to return? When is he going to make his magical appearance? Well, it's not going to be this episode. This one's not actually featuring me. We have MG, a clanmate of mine, and all around solid player. He sent me a few replays, and I said that I would feature them in an episode. So here we are. Now this first match, he is in his AMX 50B. Really solid clipper. A little bit of armor, not enough to really stand up to anything well, but apparently strong enough against T57 heavies, as we might see at the end of this video. But he's going to try and snap a shot into that E3. He's going to miss, hit the track, but then it's a clipper. He's got two more shots. So he's going to start off this game with 800 damage. Pretty good if you ask me. But his team has already lost a tank. So, already down in the hole, tank. This game's not looking too great. His team spread out, and the enemy's pushing through. His team manages to take back an enemy, and MG setting up to look for guys crossing towards his spawn. He gets one shot into the 54, another shot into the American T57 Heavy, and then he's waiting for the Leo, and puts one more into him. Pulls back, and doesn't get shot. Incredibly lucky there, honestly, but he made it work. He was waiting in ambush, which is exactly what you want to do in this tank. Now, rotating back towards the mid to maybe get some shots on this Yag. They peek over the top. They're tall. And so he can hit him over these stairs. And there is nothing the Yag can do about it, because his gun isn't set high enough on the platform. So, he's going to keep on pushing forward. Yag's probably going to die soon. And then we're going to need to turn around and focus on the guys coming back through his spawn. Right now it's a 3v5. It's not looking good. I'm just going to pull forward, kill the Yag, being careful not to go around that corner too far, just in case there's enemies coming through. But at this point it doesn't matter. He's going to go. He's looking, maybe get a shot. 57's on the other side, but the T30 is there, and he just shot. Puts a shot into the track, and then is going to pull forward and empty the last shell of his clip into the upper plate of the T30. Already at 3.3k damage. This could be an amazing game. 4 tanks left on the enemy team. Reloading his clip to go in on this T30. He's going to get at least one more shot into there. And now, 2 shots left in the clip. I'm not going to go for a reload yet. Going to look to see if he has shots across this opening. He does not. At this point, he's going to go for a reload. Reloading in this tank is extremely important, and learning how and when to reload and relocate can mean the difference between a win and a loss. And that's what MG is doing right here. He noticed that his enemies were considerably far away, and we're not going to reach him in time to beat him on his reload. So now he's fully reloaded. He's going to go in, and he's going to try and finish off this leopard. He's going to get 2 bounces. Honestly, incredible. This tank should not be getting that many bounces. He's fully clipped out. Got a 15-second long reload now. He's got to drive forward. That 57 is going to come down. He's got to kill this T54 before the 57 reloads. So he's just going to go. He's not going to care about taking damage. He's going to take 1 from the 54, 1 from the 57, and then finish the 54. Turn, immediately put the next shot into the 57 as he's driving past. Depress his gun, try and get the shot. It glitches and goes high and to the right. 57's reloading at this point. Almost reloaded now. He's going to aim. And what was that? He's firing heat. MG was within a 1 clip of death, and the 57 decided to fire heat at an AMX 50B, allowing MG to take the win. 6.5k damage. insane mastery. Beautiful gameplay. 5 kills. Top gun. Top of his team, obviously. Top of the game. Just a brilliant result. All right, on to our next game on Himmelsdorf in the Object 268. Notice how he's running almost as much HE shells as he is heat. This could potentially be a factor later in the game if he's to run into something like the rear of a medium or the rear of a 50B. Easy way to deal 1,000 damage instead of the average 600, 700 damage roll of AP or APCR heat. So he's going to push over to the right, going to play it safe, normal TD position, set up on this little divide, and peek over and see what he can do to the enemies pushing on the outside of these two lanes. He's going to come around the corner and immediately see the 263, scope in on him, doesn't really want to take the shot, but he's going to anyways. He's going to pen it and hit, and that's one shot down. And from here on out, it's going to be rinse and repeat. Peek out, aim, shoot, pen, pull back forward. Already at 1.3k. That's 2 shots down. Only need 3 more, and he's got 3k damage, and that's a solid game. But he's not just going to stop there. He's going to keep on going, and he is going to wreck these enemies. He bounces the shell, probably right off the gun. Just doesn't pen, doesn't go through. Not enough penetration there. He's going to be able to finish off the Centurion 7-1. Amazing tank. Not too great against a tier 10 tank destroyer, however. Now, he's almost running out of targets. So at this point, he's going to wait, see if he has a shot, and if he doesn't, he's going to advance. Oh, we got that 50B. Maybe he's going to poke out. Maybe load some HE. No. AP through the turret. And then we're going to pull back. 2.4k. We're getting there. It's a 5v4. It's looking pretty good for MG and his team. 3v5. And time to push. We need damage. We need to go. Gets the shot. And keeps on moving. He's hit 3k damage at this point. And we're just going to go up and over the top. Right in. Killing the enemy. 3.6. And continuing forward. Gonna take a shot from the Yak. Doesn't matter at this point. Game is basically over. At this point, as much damage as he can get is better and best. He's probably not going to die. He just needs to play it careful and not poke when the Yag is reloaded. He puts a shot into the E5 and then pulls back again. We have 5k damage. And at this point, there's not really much the enemy can do. Sure, maybe they can win, but the chances of that are so incredibly slim, especially with MG carrying this team to victory. He's going to take a shot from the E5 as he comes around the corner, almost reloaded, looking for the shot. Going to go lower plate, pen it, get a bounce incredibly, even with most of his hull armor angled directly against the E5. Almost flat. He's going to get 2 bounces, and that's going to allow him to finish off the E5 with the help of his teammates and end the game with 6.4 thousand damage. Beautiful result. Not a mastery. Just goes to show how much you really have to do in this tank destroyer that is so incredibly meta to do anything, to get a mastery. It's simply not enough. Our next game is on Winter Malinovka, and MG is playing in the T110 E3. Used to not be strong. You could pen it reliably in the cupola, but then about a year and a half ago, it got buffed, and since then, it is almost impenetrable. by almost every tank when it is hull down. This tank is extremely strong when it is at distance and when it is facing tanks with lower penetration and low damage. Higher alpha guns like the E100 or the Jagdpanzer are going to be able to splash HE on the cupola and through the roof, which does affect this tank considerably. However, it's very rare that you're going to find any tanks dealing full damage frontally to this tank consistently on any reliable basis. So right now, 4 enemies spotted down below with 2 of his mediums getting destroyed. The game's immediately not looking good. So MG's going to go over here and see if he can get any assistance shots whenever he can. He's going to put 1 into the K91, and then he's going to hang out in this cap and see what damage that he can do on the enemy tanks as they try to advance towards him. He's going to get a shot fully aimed, still quite lucky on that. You see the high alpha HE shells already coming in. That VK clearly knows at least a little bit of what he's doing. He's not absolutely clueless. And so you can see MG really trying to focus him down. He's going to take another shot of damage, also an HE shell, from quite possibly the grill or the Jagdpanzer E100. Jagdpanzer E100 rolled for 100 damage on an HE shell against the E3. That just goes to show how truly thick this tank's armor really is. That is thick with 2 Cs and a Q, people. You're not going through this. It doesn't matter what you have. You're not going to pen this tank consistently unless you get behind it, in which case HE all the way, buddy. Right through that thing's thick ass. Also 2 Cs and a Q. Now, we're halfway capped, mostly because of this E100 and his capping abilities, but also because of MG's competence of keeping the enemy off of this ridge line and pinned down, allowing this E100 to rack up the cap points. He's also been soaking up most of the hits from almost every enemy that has been firing towards this cap circle. Now, the caps go back to MG. He's the one with all of them, and then he gets shot, completely resetting the cap, and at this point, it's time to abandon ship. He's got to push out and kill this standard B. Otherwise, he's going to get flanked, and it's not going to be a fun time. There, we see an attempted HE shell from the VK 7201, but it must have hit a track, and so MG is still going to live. There, we saw an attempted HE shot at the AMX-30B. It did not pen and only dealt 300 damage, sadly. But now, it's a 2v2. We got the E100 reasonably okay on HP. However, they do have a grill, and that's very dangerous. MG has about half of his HP remaining, which means if he manages to hit this AMX first, he will have a significant advantage. And so, he's going to drive forward and attempt to pen. He gets penned for 400, dropping him down to low health, and misses the AMX. He's going to get a bounce. Once again, people, you are not going to reliably pen this tank. It's not going to happen. And then he finishes it off, the AMX. E100 is capping, and the grill is trying to flank, but it's not enough. HE shot, 800 damage, 5,000 for the game, and a truly monster carry by MG. Mastery badge. Look at all those medals. Beautiful. 40,000 credits made. Very nice. Now, we have another game in the 268 on a map that we've already seen this episode. However, it's from the other spawn, and we're in a tank destroyer instead of a heavy clipper. So, he's going to head parkside and attempt to set up and support his Kampfpanzer 70, who is also from Void. He's going to go to this ridge right here and see if he can get shots across as enemies attempt to drive towards the middle. So far, he's not going to see anyone, but we see the E100 and the IS-7 coming towards this gap, and he has an opportunity. E100 turns to look, 700 alpha right into the lower plate. Beautiful. Little bit risky crossing back across that, but had that 50B attempted to continue on this path as he is right now, splashing for, and there's that HE, 1000 damage into the side of the 50B. The Foch attempts to flank and come around behind. MG's just going to turn and engage him. He can take this guy if he plays intelligently. He just needs a little bit of assistance in the form of the Bat Chat, who's going to take a shot or two from the Foch. IS-7 bounces. Object 704 up in the cap, puts one into him. He needs to be careful here. The enemy's pushing from the park side. He needs to put pressure on these two tank destroyers in the middle, and he succeeds. He kills the Object 704 and immediately turns back to focus on the 50B, who is peeking and attempting to get shots into him. He's going to pull forward and once again look for that HE shot. He's going to miss with the AP. Wasn't able to switch shells in time, or possibly just didn't think that he was going to be able to get the 50B side in that scenario. Going to go for the HE again. There we go. 858 damage right through the side of the 50B. Honestly, beautiful technique and ability to know when to use which shells and how to best capitalize on an HE splash. Now, despite one of his allies in the cap not contributing to the end result of this game, it is a 5-on-2, really a 4-on-2, but MG is going to continue around, put a shot into the back of the E100, and then just ignore him. He knows he's going to die, and frankly, the E100 is not worth his time. He's not a full HP shot. He's looking for that HE in the back. He's going to miss the fire button, I assume, and then have to flick back and try to kill the T-62 with HE. He misses, but it doesn't matter at this point. He can take as much damage as he wants as he rounds the corner and finishes off the T-62, ending the battle with 5.7 thousand damage, mastery badge, a Top Gun, and just a beautiful set of 4 games. Thanks for coming out, guys.